हेलो नमस्कार। आप सबका इस वीडियो नंबर 3 मॉडर्न रिलीजन पे आप सबका स्वागत है। नमस्कार। और आज मैं आप सबसे बात करूँगा जूडाइज्म के बारे में। जूडाइज्म जो रिलीजन है ये भी एक ऐसा रिलीजन है जिससे कि वर्ल्ड में कोई मेजर प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है वर्ल्ड में। हाँ, इस रिलीजन से मुस्लिम कंट्रीज़ को प्रॉब्लम है, लेकिन ओवरऑल वर्ल्ड में किसी को कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है। इससे पहले कि मैं इस सब्जेक्ट पे बात करूं, मैं आपको ये बताना चाहता हूं कि व्हाट इज़ द स्टेटस ऑफ दिस religion in the world today. I wanted to give you the current statistics or modern statistics about this religion. So, traditionally, this religion is, let me tell you what is the situation. Today, there are 14 million people who are the followers of this religion, and that those 14 million people live basically in two countries, USA and Israel. More Israelis lives in USA as compared to Israel. So this is the fact. So because it is not a major problem, I will go over the summary of this religion. I will not go over too deep into this religion, but what I have understood about this religion, I'm going to explain you that. So if you are not aware of this religion, at least it will be a good summary for you to understand what this religion is about. So same way, if you have any problem, questions, you just put a comment and we can discuss when the time comes for live streaming. Anyway, so let me give you some of the summary kind of thing for this religion. This is the world's oldest monotheistic religion in the world, roughly about 4,000 years from now. The followers are called Jews, and and also Israelis, and they believe that God showed itself, or say himself, to the prophet, old prophet, under Judaism. And Jewish people believe that there is only one God, and this God has created a covenant. Covenant is a special contract between God and Israel people, and this special contract is called covenant, and this covenant describes everything, how the Jewish people should live, what rules and regulations they have to follow, and how they can worship in this religion. And this is about all those rules and regulations, philosophy, doctrine of the Jewish life. So that was the covenant which established. And as in any monotheistic religion, God has communicated that how he can reward good people, those who are Israelis, Jews, the good Jews. They live by the laws and order of the as per the God, and God also punish those people who don't believe or who don't follow the rules and regulations as per God, which is given in this covenant, that is a special contract. So that was for that. And there is one more special concept that Jewish people have, that their Messiah has not come yet. Like in Jews, there is a Messiah called Jews. Also, there is a Messiah in Islam called Muhammad. But the Jewish people don't believe that their Messiah has come in the world before. They think that it will come eventually. It has not came yet. So that was their belief. And Jewish people do not have a special place to worship, so they worship at holy places. They call that holy places as a synagogue, and their leader, those who are the preacher or those who are in the synagogue, those who preach this religion, they are called rabbis. So rabbis are that. And the symbol 6-pointed star you have seen in Judaism, which is 6-pointed star with blue outline, that symbol is a symbol of King David. And his son, the importance of King David is that his symbol is a 6-pointed star, and his son named Solomon, King Solomon. So he built or he constructed the first Jewish temple. So we will discuss that later. But at this time, let us start from here. So who, the question comes here, can you convert to Judaism? The thing which I have found out on the internet is that traditionally a person is considered as a Jewish if his or her mother is Jewish. So there is a precondition, there is a prerequisite to become a Jewish, is that your one of the parent, or especially your mother, has to be a Jewish. Father cannot be a Jewish, but your mother has to be Jewish, then you can be considered as a Jewish. So this is the thing for that. Okay? So the religious book of Jewish, which is called a scripture, the scripture for Jewish religion, the name of that, there are few more scriptures, but the one which is very popular, which we will talk about today, is called Torah. Torah is also referred to as the Old Testament. As per in the Christianity, it is called Old Testament. In Jewish, it is also called, it is the Old Testament in a different sequence, but it is also called Hebrew Bible. So Hebrew Bible, Torah, is also Old Testament. The first 5 books of Torah, which is called Pentateuch, these are the first 5 books. This first 5 books, it basically described the exodus of Israelis from Egyptian Pharaoh. So this is the thing which it comes into the 5 books of the Torah. So that is for the Egyptian exodus from Egyptian Pharaoh. So that was we can see about that. Now, I'm going to go now. Founder of Judaism. Who founded this religion? According to the Torah text, the scripture, God revealed himself to the Hebrew man named Abraham. So Abraham is the first known Jews, and it is called the founder of the Judaism. That is Abraham. Jews believe that God made a special covenant with Abraham and that his descendants were chosen who would create a great nation. So it is the Abraham children that will make the great nation later. Abraham's son is Isaac, and Isaac's son is Jacob. So the Jacob is also called Israel. He take the title of Israel, Jacob, and his children at the future generations are known as Israelites. So it is the Jacob which has become, the name become Israel. That's where the Israel started. So this was the starting point for that. Now, 1,000 years after that, after Abraham, a prophet named Moses, he was in Egypt, and it was predicted that he will free the Israelis, because for hundreds of years, at the time of Moses, the people, the Israelis were living in the Egyptian Pharaoh kingdom as a slave. So their job was to make big monument, temple, and all those things, palaces, temples, and in the Egyptian, and they were working as a slave. So that was the belief in the Jews. And then what happened, that Moses helped them to get out of the slavery, and this particular instance is called Exodus. After that, as per scripture, when they came out of slavery, very special events happened that you must have heard, the partition of Red Sea, when they were pushed at the edge of the sea, Red Sea. The Egyptian king realized that he should not have freed the slave, so he followed them. So when Moses knew that the Egyptian king is following with his army to get them, so he partitioned the Red Sea, and he let his people go through the Red Sea. And when the Egyptian army came and tried to cross the Red Sea with the parted sea, then Moses ordered the sea to become a complete sea, and all the Egyptian army was drowned. So this is the mythology or story under the Jews' ship, and this is what happened. And then Uh, they were wandering for many, many years. Ultimately, Moses and Jews, they come at the bottom of the Mount Sinai, and then Mount Sinai, the Moses went up the Mount Sinai to get the rules and regulations from the God, because it was predicted from the sky that please go to the Mount Sinai. So ultimately he went all the way up to the Mount Sinai without anybody, no Jews, no nothing. He was alone. And he stayed there for a long time. In that long time, God told him and gave him all the information, all the rules and regulations, how to live and how to worship and this and that, do, and all the actions and deeds of Jewish people to follow. So it took some long time. In the long time, what happened that those Israelis, those who were at the bottom, they were waiting for Moses to come down, but he didn't come for a long time. So they got frustrated, or whatever you can say. So they try to make free people, and they wanted to follow, to create the same God as they had in Egypt. So what they collected the gold from the people, and they melted all the gold, and they make a golden cow. And they were worshipping golden cow. They were following all the things from Egyptian life, which was sometimes unethical and unwarranted. So ultimately, Moses came, and he saw all the disorder in the society. So he got very upset, and then he just told everybody that please stop this and follow the command of the God. You should, if you cannot live with the God, you will be die with the God. So it says that they threw those tablets, the Ten Commandments, to the golden calf, and all the golden calf was burned and everything happened, and all the people, those who did not follow the proper God command, they all perished, and from there the religion continues. So this is the old mythological story, or whatever you can call. That's what happened. So it was from the Ten Commandments, they call it. Now, if you want to see this kind of story, there is a very good Hollywood movie which was made in, I think, in early or late 1950s, which is called Ten Commandments. And the two famous actors, Charlton Heston and Yul Brynner. You can watch that one. In the text, there is no mention that who was the king at the time of Exodus, who was the Pharaoh. There was a lot of debate and controversy, but everything points to Pharaoh, and there is a debate. Some people believe that it is the Thutmose III, who was the Pharaoh at that time, or some people believe that it was Ramses II, the great Ramses. He was the Pharaoh at that time. But there was a difference of 70, 80 years between these two. It was in the New Kingdom time, around about 1300 BC, something around that time. So basically, majority of the Jews believed that it was in the time of Ramesses the Great, the Ramesses II the Great. So that was just a historical thing. So now I will talk about which the Jews believe. Around 1000 BC, the King David ruled the Jewish people. As I told you that he was the king 1000 years back, that BC, it was the Jewish people were ruled by King David. And that's what I told you before. They have a 6-pointed star of King David. His son Solomon built the first holy temple in Jerusalem, which became the central place of worship for Jews. But around the 9th century, this Jewish temple fell apart and it was destroyed. And then the second holy temple was built about 5016 BC, but it was eventually destroyed by the Roman in 70 AD. But we know that. So the destruction of second holy temple is significant because the Jewish people don't have any place to gather and worship because their second holy temple is also destroyed. So they shifted focus. After that, they don't have any place. Then they start worshiping in the synagogue locally or in the community. As per my knowledge, let me explain you this. The second holy temple was destroyed, but in the Jerusalem, but there is something is still there from that temple. It's not a temple, it's a wall, and that wall is called Western Wall. So Jews believe that behind this wall, at modern time, there is a Al-Aqsa Mosque. Jews believe that under that mosque, that's where the place where the second holy temple was built. And also, Christian people also believe that this is the same place the Christ was also crucified at the same place. So there is a three religion that they have a conflict on that place. But this Western Wall, where the Jewish people go and they pray and they cry for their temple, Jewish people do that. So that is for that thing, and that was, I told you, that was the history for synagogue. And one important thing I want to discuss here is the Jewish and crucifixion of Christ. This is a very controversial and very emotional incident that happens. In 1993, 4, and 5, 3 years, I was in New York in a hospital. I was finishing my residency there. There were few people were from Russia. They were also doing residency, few doctors. And we have also a few Christian doctors also. Of course, the number of Christian doctors were more as compared to Jewish doctors. I was told, I had a knowledge that the crucifixion of Christ happened because of Jews. That means Jews were responsible for crucifixion of Christ. So I because they were my friend, these Russian Jewish doctor, so I got very friendly with them, and I asked one of them that, what is this history? Do you think that this is what happened, that Jews are responsible for crucifixion of Christ? They told me that no, it is not true. We are not responsible for this type of incidents. It is somebody else. They pose themselves as Jews, but they are not Jews, so we should not be held responsible for this incident. Recently, before making this video, I researched myself on the online and on media to find out what is the modern concept of this. So I looked into that, and I have a conflicting opinion on that. One opinion is that since the ancient time, it is believed that Jews are responsible for crucifixion of the Christ. But there is a different school of thought. They try to contradict this opinion, and they are making their case. But arguments can be made for both ways, but the overall opinion and overall belief in this modern situation, that majority of the people Christians believe that since ancient time, when this thing happened, it is the Jews which were responsible for that. And also, I was also told that there was a curse to the Jews. So all these factors is responsible for, you can say, this is the religion, these are the people who had suffered persecution. Lot of persecution happened to Jews. Why? The reason is, as I told you, first one, the conflicting opinion about crucifixion of the Jews, and also a bad omen or a curse from the God. That's what people say. So there are a lot of persecution happens, but I will go over with only major incidents of persecution, and you can see, then you can understand the expansion policy of the Judaism is very limited. They did not expand themselves as the other religions. They just confined to Israel and USA. That's all. So let us give you what are the persecution that happens, or majority of that, with the Jews. So the first one I can talk about, called the 10th century, 1066, Grenada massacre for the Jews. This happens that 1,000 Jews were massacred with their family in this incident. Then at the time of First Crusade, when the crusade happens, Jews will start fighting with the Muslim. When the First Crusade happens, thousands and thousands of Jews were also killed along with Muslims in the First Crusade. Then the third incident happened, which is called Spanish Expulsion. It is in the end of 14th century, or 1492, 90 sometimes. the Spanish ruler issued a royal edict that declared that Jews who refused to convert to Christianity should leave the Spain or to be killed. About 200,000 Jews were killed at that time. So tens of thousands was died without reaching to the safety. This is called Spanish expulsion. So this is what the Spanish expulsion. The next one, we all know, everybody understand that all of us know the word called Holocaust. This Holocaust is the most horrific persecution of Jews that happens from 1939 to 1944-45 till the end of the Second World War. And it is estimated that at that time in Spain there were many death camps. It was a systemic machinery to eliminate the Jews by the name in Germany, and at that time Nazi party. The Nazis had given a special name, the final solution of Jewish question. This is the term they use to do this kind of persecution. The final question of final solution of Jewish question. That's what they say. So it is estimated that 6 million were prosecuted with the very, very extremely horrific and graphic videos. You can see what happened during that time. And it was a special systemic killing, the machinery, killing machine they call it. So that was during that time. And then the creation of Israel country, because they were going back and forth, they had their country before, but they lost to Muslims. So when the start of Israel existence, at that time the area was under the country called Palestine. So because they did not have a special place to stay after the Second World War, the Palestine, the England, they had a meeting and they make a new country in 1948, Israel. 1 year after India independence, Israel becomes independent country. And slowly, but the Palestine did not recognize, they still today don't recognize Israel. So there is a ongoing conflict still. Israel claims that this is their land which was promised to Moses by God, and Palestinians believe that no, this is my country. Israelis don't have a right to live in this country. They should be pushed, all of them should be pushed and drowned in the Red Sea. Nobody says all these things, but this is what in certain places you will read this kind of thing. So this is what happened. The creation was in 1948, the independence nation, and then the David Ben-Gurion was the first prime minister for the independent Israel. So that was the thing for that. This event was considered as a success for the Jewish people who had tirelessly petitioned for an independent state in their homeland. All I can say that because of this creation of Israel, there is a still nowadays there is a constant conflict with Israel and Palestinian. Palestine is very large. They don't have a Palestine country now. It is Israel now. So the Palestine lives in surrounding countries and some area in the Israel, Gaza Strip on the west, and on the east side along the border of the Jerusalem. Half of the Jerusalem is in Palestine area, half of the Jerusalem is in Israel area, and there is a constant. Israelis wants the Jerusalem to be the country capital, but in modern day it is not the Jerusalem, it is the Tel Aviv is the capital city of Israel at this point. But still there is still conflict going on. So this is the situation at this time, and this is a very short summary of Judaism as I can see here. So this was the third video, and this is the end of that modern religion summary at this point. My next video, which I will talk about modern India. So that I will talk about modern India in my next and final video. This series of video I'm doing, and I will be doing this till that modern India. All these videos I am doing not to preach anybody, not to teach anybody, but just to explain myself, what I feel about the world and what I feel about my country. So you can say I'm just exposing my knowledge, my understanding, my personality, and my opinion about the modern time and modern religion, and how after the next video I will try to see. We will talk about day-to-day problems, and we'll discuss how can we understand the problem of modern world, and what options we have to go forward with proper understanding and respecting every human being on the world, and how can we uplift the mankind and humanity. That's what my whole thing is for this type of interaction with the people. Thank you very much, and Jai Shri Ram.